Hi, I'm Bran Rye, and I'm the director of the Performing Arts Administration Program at NYU. It's one of the oldest in the country. It's in the Steinhardt School, which has been a very supportive atmosphere for performing arts administration for many, many years. I've worked here for longer than most people have been around, and I've enjoyed every year of my work at NYU. My program is in a context of performing arts, so that it's very close to the disciplines of the performing arts, and it trades on what actually occurs on the campus as well as what's in the city of New York. I have students who come from all over the world to this program, and in fact have probably alums from, I think now, about 27 different countries. Most of them want to stay in New York, but many of those international students do return to their home countries and become arts administrators there. We offer a Master's of Arts in Arts Administration. So that has been the terminal degree actually in this field for many years. And it's offered to people who have arts backgrounds, performing arts backgrounds. So they must know something about performing art itself, a performing art, before they can come to our program. Then on top of that, they have to be fairly well organized and pretty smart. I think the most exciting thing about my program is that my students go on to take on a lot of responsibility. There's an internship within the program that requires them to take what they learn in the classroom into the workspace, and they're sponsored by practicing arts administrators. Then after that, they go into the field. So at an internship, particularly, a person can work in the public relations or marketing or fundraising, fiscal management, if you will. But later, when they get their jobs, usually in 3 to 5 years, they become directors of departments. So they become leaders in the field. So they go on to work or run places like the Atlantic Theater or the Public Theater or marketing for the Metropolitan Opera. And that's probably the most exciting thing in the sense that it's very satisfying to have people go in after a few years and assume a lot of responsibility for the well-being of performing arts organizations here and elsewhere. The second most exciting would be that we hire and employ a lot of practitioners from the field, and those people are really up to date on what the practices, the best practices would be in an arts organization. So that typically we'd have someone who has practiced law in the state of New York and has been a national figure and would teach our law course, or someone else who is a marketing specialist for many, many different organizations, among them Deutsche Grammophon or Orchestra of St. Luke's. And that kind of person brings a lot into the students, and not just connections, but really practice, and that's very important. And the third is that this program is probably, I think it's better accepted now than ever before, because arts administrators know that people like our people are available for both internships and then to hire. So the NYU program in Performing Arts Administration has gained a great reputation over the years and a great network, because my students are frequently hired by our alums. It's very nice. The critical mass of the arts in New York City, we state it all the time as New Yorkers, but it's just enormous, to have 350 off-Broadway theaters, to have 250 serious choreographers and dancers trying to start companies and keep companies going, and to have the big names as well, the ABT, the City Ballet, and people like that, to have the Metropolitan Opera, the New York City Opera, also to have occasionally performing arts opportunities in visual arts settings. So I have students who work for the Guggenheim, for example, doing their concert series. Not students, but alums now. So you have that overlay, and the interplay among all those arts organizations. You have a great breadth. You have organizations that are starting new musicals, that are underwriting new music, as well as commissions. And then you have organizations that are very well established, such as the Philharmonic, the New York Philharmonic, or the Met. So you have a great breadth of the kind of work that's being done and underwritten. And our students help to stabilize that. That's their role, that's their mission, is to help stabilize that and make it viable in a very competitive economy. That's the most important thing. Most recently, one of our alums has gone to the Public Theater and has become their executive director. He's also on our faculty at this point, teaching fundraising. Another one of our alums has for many years been at the Metropolitan Opera Association, and he is a deputy for marketing and fundraising at the Met Opera. Another student actually is teaching arts administration. She's the director of the Drexel University Arts Administration Program. We have another student who is the executive director of the Soho Rep, so that would be a smaller off Broadway kind of situation. Typically, though, students will have department responsibilities. For example, at Jazz at Lincoln Center, the chief financial officer, the CFO so-called, is one of our graduates. She has also been the director of auditing for Lincoln Center. So you see them moving around, but that's the kind of responsibility they usually take are executive directorships or department heads, you know. And it's very common to have people, you know, either at a Columbia Artist Management or at a Lincoln Center or at Lincoln Center Film Society, City Ballet. I have 5 graduates right now working at American Ballet Theater. 5, you know, and about 42 administrators. So NYU sort of pervades all these organizations. You know, it's nice. It's very nice.